What do you do when the ocean, the very thing that defines your nation's spirit of exploration and trade, decides it wants to take it all back? If you're anyone else, you might move. But if you're Dutch, you don't just build a wall. You decide to build a masterpiece. A sprawling, colossal system of dams, sluices, and storm surge barriers so audacious, so brilliantly engineered, that it can literally tell the North Sea, not today. This is the story of the Delta Works, an incredible architectural mindset that dared to hold back the ocean. Our story begins with catastrophe. On the night of January 31st, 1953, a perfect storm of wind and tide slammed into the southwestern coast of the Netherlands. The sea surged, overwhelming the ancient dikes. When the water receded, over 1,800 people were dead, and a vast portion of the country was in ruins. An entire nation was brought to its knees, facing a terrifying reality. Their very existence was at the mercy of the waves. In the face of such devastation, the Dutch response was not one of retreat. It was one of breathtaking ambition. They didn't just plan to rebuild the dikes. They conceived the Delta Plan, a revolutionary idea to fundamentally re-engineer their coastline. The goal? To shorten the ragged, vulnerable coast by 700 kilometers, damming off the major estuaries and creating the most advanced flood protection system the world had ever seen. A project so massive, it's been declared one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. And this is the crown jewel, the Oister Skeluring. It's not just a dam, it's a statement. 9 kilometers of raw power connecting islands that were once isolated by treacherous waters. But look closer. This isn't just a solid wall. The Dutch could have simply sealed the estuary forever, creating a freshwater lake. It would have been cheaper and easier, but that wasn't their way. Protests from fishermen and environmentalists concerned about destroying a unique saltwater ecosystem caused the government to do the unthinkable. They changed the plan mid-construction. What they built instead was a compromise born of genius. The barrier is composed of 65 colossal concrete pillars, each weighing up to 18,000 tons, with 62 massive steel gates nestled between them. These gates normally remain open, allowing the tide to ebb and flow, preserving the delicate marine life behind them. But when a storm surge is predicted to raise the sea level by 3 meters, a button is pushed, and within 82 minutes, this beast closes, forming an impenetrable shield against the sea. They chose the harder path, the more expensive path, to balance safety with nature. That's not just engineering, that's a philosophy. If the Oister Skeluring is the crown jewel, then this is a grand finale. The Maeslantkering. It guards a vital shipping channel to Rotterdam, one of the world's busiest ports. And frankly, it looks like something out of a science fiction movie. It has no gates, no pillars in the middle of the river. Instead, it has 2 colossal, curved steel arms resting in dry docks on either side. When danger looms, the entire process is automated. A central computer system analyzes the data, and if the threat is real, it makes the call. The dry docks flood. These 2 hollow arms, each as long as the Eiffel Tower is tall, float out and meet in the middle. Then, they are flooded with water and sink to the riverbed, forming a solid, immovable barrier. The engineering challenges were mind-boggling. To allow the arms to pivot, they were mounted on the largest ball and socket joints in the world, each with a diameter of 10 meters. This wasn't just about pouring concrete. The Dutch had to invent entirely new techniques. They built a special fleet of ships just to lift and place the 18,000-ton pillars of the Ooster Scheldekering. They had to figure out how to build stable foundations on the soft, sandy seabed. They managed the logistics of a project that took decades and billions of euros to complete, a project where there was no margin for error. But here is the most astounding part of the Dutch mindset, the deep research that should leave you thunderstruck. After completing the most ambitious flood defense project in human history, they realized it was enough, not because it was flawed, but because their entire philosophy of water management needed to evolve. They understood that you can't just fight the water, you have to live with it. This led to a new national program called Room for the River. Instead of just building higher dikes, they began strategically moving them inland, creating natural floodplains, and redesigning the landscape to safely accommodate excess water from rivers. It's a paradigm shift from pure defense to a dynamic, respectful coexistence. The Dutch are playing chess with the ocean, while the rest of the world is playing checkers. The Delta works are designed to withstand a storm that statistically occurs only once every 4,000 years. But even that isn't enough for them. With climate change accelerating sea level rise, they're already deep into planning the next generation defenses, the Delta Works 2.0, preparing for the challenges of the year 2100 and beyond. So, the next time you see a picture of a windmill or a field of tulips, remember the true symbol of the Netherlands. It's a sprawling monument of concrete and steel, born from disaster, built with ingenuity, and guided by a profound respect for the power of nature. The Delta Works is more than just architecture. It's a physical embodiment of the Dutch soul, a relentless, forward-thinking, and courageous determination to not just survive, but to thrive on the edge of the world.